Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be talking about Black Clover episode 77, and honestly I thought it was probably the best episode of the tournament to date. We got some real good stuff in this episode, and I just really liked it a lot. So first off, we had the Luck and Klaus and what's-her-face lady from the Blue Roses, and their match with the other kind of no-name people, and honestly, it went kind of how I imagined. Luck is super strong, and this is basically his, like, playground for him to act like a crazy person, and Klaus is cool, and they actually worked pretty well together, and honestly, so I expected that, but I did not expect the big lady from Blue Roses to be as supportive as she actually was. She seemed to kind of look down on them at first, but overall, she kind of came through and kind of helped out with the whole thing. And with all three of them working together in such a great way, they made very quick work of their opponents. And yeah, it was another kind of just like real quick, just get them to the next round kind of match. But overall, it showed that their team is really well suited for each other. It was the next match, though, that was really the best, I think. Even better than, like, Asta's match with Zerks. And I thought it was the most exciting for me, honestly. It was also kind of like the most, like, heartfelt and exciting and, like, heart-wrenching match out of all of them. So I'm really pretty satisfied with how this ended. Especially since in this match, it was kind of basically named characters with other named characters, which is like something that we haven't really seen a ton of. There have been some named characters, but like they've been like relatively new to the series, being a single episode new. Like Luck and Klaus's match was up against a guy named Rob, and he was supposed to be like this like tough guy, but then he ended up getting just demolished as very quickly. So I'm a little I was a little excited going into this because I was thinking, okay, so you have Noelle, and some dude named N, and then you have Solid, Noelle's brother, or at least one of them, and then you also have Alec Dora, and for the record, my name is Alec without the Dora, and you also, so then they have like just kind of a no-name dude on their side, but like it's some named characters that like have already been established. So I was pretty excited for this match to begin, and rightfully so, because right off the bat you have kind of basically Yuno and Noelle kind of going a little bit at each other as far as like who's going to attack, who's going to defend, but like nothing crazy. N decides that like he's like better suited for defense anyway, so he's chill with that. But they right off the bat start getting attacked by Alec Dora and Solid and the other guy, and things kind of look a little shaky for Yuno and Noelle at this point, because hey, the other team seems really powerful, and they seemed at least pretty well suited to help each other, and they're coming in fast. But things very quickly turn in favor of Yuno and Noelle and their partner N's team. So kind of on the fly, Yuno and Noelle basically changed positions. Originally they were thinking Yuno would be the one to attack and Noelle would be defense, but Noelle really wanted to prove herself in this episode, so they changed it up. Yuno decided to hold on to the crystal, and it was probably safer with him anyways, and Noelle went for the enemy crystal, and that basically split up their enemy's team. Even though they were all supposed to attack the crystal at once, Solid went after Noelle because he's a real jerk, honestly. And Alec Dora stuck around for Yuno because they're on the same squad, so they might as well fight each other anyways. The other guy kind of goes after chasing Solid, but ends up getting taken down by N of all people. N's got a weird ability. He's got this like weird mushroom magic where he's like, mushrooms pop up all over the place, and some of them can at least have like a personality where he can like channel his voice, and he's usually this kind of like reserved dude, but when he's like in the mushrooms or like channeling his voice, he's really like all pepped up and cool, and I like him a lot actually. So on the side of Alec Dora and Yuno, they're kind of facing each other, and Alec Dora is just basically making himself more and more angry, just thinking about how Yuno was accepted into the Golden Dawns in the first place, and that was already kind of messed up because Yuno's a commoner and blah 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 blah. And he just starts getting more and more angry about how Yuno has gotten closer to their captain. And it's something that has been kind of boiling in the background for a long time. We saw a little bit in the kind of like Festival for the Stars before, and it just seems like really he's been kind of actively getting more and more angry, and this is kind of the boiling point for him. And Yuno just shuts him down. There's like no comparison. Alec Dora summons this giant golem like armor thing, and it looks like he's about to go on the offensive, and he says this is like perfect spell. Yuno activates a wind spell right in the middle of his spell, so it like cancels it out and just completely knocks him down. And that, I'm sure, will come back, and Alec Dora is just going to continue being angry at himself and whatever, and it seems like there's going to be some headbutting going forward with this. The more interesting, honestly, in my opinion, part of the match was Noelle and Solid. Solid, okay, so first of all, House Silva, garbage. I freaking hate them so much. Noelle is kind of like a prissy, like, oh, she's like kind of a little snobby and whatever, but like ultimately she's pretty down to earth for somebody that grew up with technically nobility in their blood. So I gotta give her a pass because she's kind of like, it's kind of her like shtick to be like snobby, but really she's pretty chill. House Silva, like the rest of her family, garbage, utter garbage. Her brothers and sisters are just trash, and Solid is no different. We get some flashbacks of him just treating her terribly and using her just like as like a plaything. He rips up her stuffed bunny. He snaps at her when she starts to eat dinner before him. It's just awful. Awful, awful, awful. And you see more and more that she has immense amounts of reason to hate her family completely. Which makes this episode so much sweeter knowing how it ends. So she makes it to the enemy crystal, and he's obviously been on her, and he's like, I'm not gonna like stop following you. You will not hit my crystal. You will not do anything. Boy, was he wrong. After a little pep talk from N, which was really kind of like, I'm sure she would have been able to do it anyways, but it's nice to have a little bit of a word from somebody that who is an older brother and knows how to treat siblings correctly. So after having that pep talk, things really get crazy. Solid activates this kind of serpent magic, and it's like this like serpent water guy, and he's like, ah ha ha, you won't kill me, you won't blah 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 blah, you are not going to get to our crystal, blah blah blah. And he's going off and acting like a dickhead, and she's like, oh yeah? And so she activates her like giant dragon water spout thing, and that scares the crap out of him. This was so satisfying to see him and his dinky little serpent magic, and she's got her giant dragon, and that's just like endgame for him. The entire episode and even before, and honestly their siblings in general, have always put her down, and she's always been kind of like the butt of their jokes, but now she's got crazy amounts of magic power to push out and attack her enemies with. So this is coming off like a little out of character from their eyes, and that's pretty great. And kind of the moment of truth part of this episode for Noelle is that like she has been putting the words of her family to heart and taking it to heart, and like been trying to be better for them, but like in reality, she doesn't need their acceptance whatsoever. She's got the Black Bulls, she's got Yami, she's got Mira Leona, she's got all these like awesome people in her corner and giving her like support and love and all this kind of crazy stuff. So now it's like it doesn't matter what the opinion of House Silva is. What really matters is all the people that will back her up and support her. So she doesn't give a crap. She messes him up too. She hits him with her water dragon and destroys the crystal in one fell swoop. And like, it was really satisfying. I've said that before, but it really was. She messes him up, and it was really awesome. For somebody like Noelle, who doesn't really like show off like a ton of strength every episode, or isn't like totally the center of attention every episode, it's nice to see her have a little bit of a show of strength and power, and like she might have a little bit of weaknesses here and there, but like she rises into the challenge and can ultimately get stuff done. Ultimately, this episode was really awesome for me. I liked seeing another character other than Asta and Yuno kind of again rise to a challenge and become more than they were before, and it's just awesome to see somebody get over on their awful brother or sister or whatever. It's really good, and I'm excited to see Finral go after his brother, because I think it'll be a similar style of kind of comeuppance going on. But yeah, these are my thoughts on this episode. What did you guys think? Let me know down below in the comment section. How do you feel about Noelle finally getting one over on at least one of her siblings? And how do you feel about Yuno and Alec-Dora's situation? Because obviously, Yuno wants to be the captain of the Golden Dawns at some point and then become the Wizard King. So it's kind of a weird situation. I mean, I kind of see a little bit where Alec-Dora is coming from, but at the same time, he's handling it all wrong. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the episode. Also, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe and ring the bell. You can get all notifications when I upload. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you have an awesome, awesome day. I will see you guys in another video.